Good day, folks. My name is Josh Ledico, 14 Wing Reconditioning Specialist. Today I'm covering my host to give you a presentation on SMART goals. It's part of our Wisdom with Wednesdays. There's a few tips in here, so it's worth the 5 minutes or so to go through the video, and I hope you enjoy. So again, we're trying to learn about SMART goals, the application of, and how it applies to your training. So a few weeks ago, we talked about how much exercise we at least need, and it's about 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise. And what is that? It's about 70% of your heart rate max, so obtaining those amounts for 150 minutes. So in my case, it's 220 minus my age, which is 36, times by 0.70, and I got 129. Okay? So things that I can help improve or prevent if I train in those zones are these items on the side here, okay, as well as the ones over there. Obviously, people come into our office are looking for fitness. My job as a physiologist, sometimes I work with some of these items here and more. But a lot of times these are associated with mental health. We do know that if you train for 10 minutes, about 70% of your heart rate max, you will get to feel a little bit better. So if you can build your fitness up and you can train longer, the odds are you'll probably feel better. So why is this important if we're looking at goal setting? Because a lot of us might not be training right now. So hopefully this next part of this presentation will give you the tools to get you initiated. So what's important is if you don't have a goal, you don't know where you're going, it's hard to change or improve. So 83% of the population don't have defined goals. 14% of the population have in their brain, but they don't write it down. But compared to those two groups, they are 10 times more successful. Well, what's important today, 3% of the population have written goals, which makes them 30 times more successful. So if anything from today's presentation, take that home, sit down, take the 2 minutes and write out a goal you want to do. You'll be 30 times more successful. So when you're writing those goals, though, you're going to basically come up to barriers. And in fitness realm, we're going to come up to barriers to exercise. The top three that people come across is time, energy, and motivation. Well, a lot of these other barriers that are listed down there are closely related to these ones. So time-wise, I don't have time because I don't have childcare anymore. Or I can't go to the gym, I don't have equipment, so my motivation's down. But realizing what these barriers are will allow you to combat and make an action plan to go around. Okay? So if we're looking at SMART goals, the acronym is SMART, obviously, but it's specific, measurable, obtainable, relevant, realistic, and time-orientated. So cardiovascular training we talked about a few weeks ago, if I was trying to get it measurable, and as a SMART goal, it shows a 60 to 80%. Well, we've rounded it in the middle and we said 70% of your predicted heart rate max. Okay? So set yourself up for success. So if I'm a member, I'm struggling at their force test or I'm struggling at the rushes, how do I improve them? Right now, I'm not at the gym. I got all these barriers. One of it's time, motivation, lack of knowledge. I'm not really sure what to do, and obviously I have to look after my kids. So how we measure this? Well, how do you measure your force test? We look at the time that you run. Well, if I'm at 51, how do I improve that time? Okay? So we have some way to measure whether we're going to improve or get worse. Is it attainable? Well, I can let you know as a fitness instructor or a physiologist that I have never seen someone truly max out. So either whether it's a fitness-related item or a skill-based movement, we can improve it. Okay? So a lot of people struggle with long-term goals. So you have your outline of your goal that's there, but you need to set one for the week. And a lot of us right now is actually getting up off the couch and getting moving. So set the goal out to get out and do it will actually initiate this process. Okay? So schedule that time. If you need accountability, well, maybe you need some PSP programs where we can do that. Our Train Heroic items that are out now are great because we actually get to see when clients are going through, or members, and it outlines exactly when they train, how much they train, that kind of thing. So if you need someone to keep accountability and help you, we can do that. Okay? So is it relevant or realistic? Well, me sitting there doing curls with pops and bags of chips, on the other hand, is not going to be a relevant goal to build my cardiovascular. It might build your muscular endurance, but it won't build up that cardiovascular. So make sure when you set a goal, it's relevant or realistic to what you're training for. And as your fitness starts to go up, it has to get narrowed down to a more realistic or more relevant goal for what you're training. And we can help you with this, folks. So if you're just getting started, look at our Return to Run program. Maybe the first day is just a walking 10 minutes. Or if you need an upper body burn, I can give you a program for push-ups that takes you 5 minutes 3 times a week, 15 minutes, and you can get a chest developed, or you can get your pecs built, or if you want to get your push-ups developed for another program, it helps too. Okay. So time orientated, well, if you set a goal for 4 weeks, then let's aim for it. Get on a progressive program. Don't do 10-minute walk every day at the same pace because you won't improve. So your hurdles to exercise. I just showed you a brief outline of what you could write down, and you see how it starts to kind of map out. But grab a pen and paper right now, folks. Go grab that pen and paper. Write down your goals. You're going to be about 30% or 30 times more successful for writing them out. And then analyze what is holding you up. What is stopping you from training right now? What barriers are there for you? What barriers are you creating for yourself? And then set an action plan to start it as soon as possible. It is a beautiful day outside right now in Nova Scotia. I highly suggest get out there today and start it. Whether it's 10 minutes of walking or initiate that run-walk program. So, tips-wise, if you want to use technology to track, it's great. We have a Train Heroic, which Fortune Wing is using. It's great a software to piece of keep track. I mentioned it a few minutes ago. Strava is another way. If you're part of a group, you can actually keep track of your distance that you're running or walking, so you can actually keep it accumulated. Pretty easy, free software. Use PSP programs. So one of the things I'm really trying to push is this run to walk program. You can walk the entire thing. It starts off with 3 minutes intense, which is your relative intensity, and each day adds a minute in. So we can get you up to running, but don't let the barrier of saying that I don't know what to do, because we can help. You don't need much distance. To be quite honest with you, I started doing it with my kids because the barrier was I don't have time to train, so let's train together. Teach them a sport at the same time. We go out in the backyard. We got basically 20 meters to run back and forth. So good old days of doing the shorter run, I'm back doing it. But I'm taking my kids, so they're getting their PT in. I'm getting my PT in. I'm meeting the goals, starting the progressive program going up. So you could do the same, folks. You don't need to run on the street. You can run in your backyard. So motivation and accountability, we're here to support. Okay? These programs like Train Heroic or Strava will help get you motivated by keeping you accountable. We know when you don't train, or you'll know when you don't train. So let us help you. And above all, be safe. Check out the CSEP Get Active questionnaire if you haven't already. It's important to make sure that you're medically fit to train. We all do these when we fill out, say, the PT test. You go and fill out the questions. Are you medically fit? Do you need to speak to a doctor prior to? That kind of thing. Very important. Either or, at the end of this presentation, use those SMART goals, keep fit to fight, and we'll be there to support you. Take care. Cheers.